Buddy, tell the truth Monday. It was great to be on the football team all last week, and we had a great mindset, preparation. We got to play with a great attitude. I love the way they play physical football, and belief in the LSU Tigers all last week was about LSU, wasn't about anybody else. And the great state of Louisiana. You know, wish that our fans could have heard our guys before the game. How bad they wanted to win the game for the LSU Tiger family in the state of Louisiana. I believe they gave it everything that they had. Obviously, we fell short, and there's no room for that, and there's no moral victories. But they did everything I asked them to do, and for that I was proud of them. We have a 24-hour rule today, and after we watch the film, we're going to identify the positives, we'll identify the negatives, fix the things we can fix, and move on. We have an early start on Saturday, but against a very tough Arkansas opponent. This is always a tough game for LSU. It's a rivalry game. 11 a.m. kickoff. We're going to need all our fans to come on up, get up early, drink some coffee, put a little something in it, get to Tiger Stadium, come enjoy the day with us. Because it's going to be a great game. This is a great rivalry game, and I know our fans are going to enjoy it. It's a battle for the boot. Last year we went up there and beat a good Arkansas team. It seemed very similar, coming off a tough loss to Alabama. So we have to regather it today, get going, and focus in on a very good Arkansas football team. Some of the things about Arkansas is their turnover margin, they're -2. The offense is big and physical like it's always been, with a very big offensive line. Guys are 330, 340 pounds. They have a very good run game, pin and pull scheme that gives defensive problems. They average almost 400 yards a game, 180 rushing, 205 passing. They have two very good running backs, in David Wally and David Williams. They hit the ball, they're big, they're physical, they're tough. They know how to run the football in Arkansas, they always have been. Jonathan Ness is a very good wide receiver, along with Cole Kelly, a very young quarterback from Lafayette, Louisiana, is doing a good job. On defense, they've moved to the 3-4, which is different for Arkansas. They're moving guys around, they're bringing multiple looks, they're bringing some zone pressures. Paul Rhodes is a former head coach there, he's a very good defensive coach. They have 7 returning starters, they're giving up 422 yards a game. They're allowing 36 points per game. They forced 7 fumbles and 6 interceptions on the season. Their top players is Bakeem Elgin. His name is Sosa. He's from Arkansas. I recruited him. Very fast, one of the fastest defensive ends in the recruiting class that year. Very explosive and disruptive, and he's doing very well this year. Kelvin Richard, number 30, cornerback, plays nickelback, has great instinct, has 3 interceptions, and Dwayne Eugene's field linebacker. Big physical guy, very solid on special teams. Our challenge this week is obviously the 24-hour rule. Our guys have done a tremendous job of that all week. And moving on to Arkansas, I'm excited about this football team. I was excited to be with them in the locker room before the game, during the game, and after the game. Love their attitude, love the way they held their head up high, knowing that we're only a couple of plays away from beating a very good Alabama football team. But we believe in each other. We believe in finishing very strong this season and having a great season, starting one at a time, starting with Arkansas. Any questions?
Ed, when you rewatched the game tape, what did you see from those deep balls with your quarterback and your receivers?
Yeah, you know, some of them could have been caught, some of them were just a little bit behind. The timing could have been better. The thing I was pleased with was the protection. And we said protection first, and going up till the last drive when we had to get more guys out. I thought our guys did a tremendous job of protecting the quarterback and giving him enough time. So the things were there. The timing, the throw wasn't exactly there. Some of those got caught. Some of those could have been caught. They weren't caught. It was just a combination of both.
Coach, last year you had a hard-fought game against Alabama. You go to Arkansas and you dominated. What were the keys that week, and how do you repeat those things this week?
You know, I remember last year, obviously, our goal this year is to take one game at a time. And we haven't put more emphasis on any other game than another. We didn't make this last game all or nothing. although we know how big it is in the state of Louisiana, it's big foul guys. So I think we're about to bounce back well. We're about to bounce back with some confidence. I remember last year our strength coach and the coaching staff was the MVP. Their energy, the way they brought it, all week, we have to bring extra energy this week. But I think this year is a little bit different because our guys are feeling good about themselves right now, although they lost. They're seeing we're building a championship team. I think they're hungry. I think they'll be hungry to go out to practice, and we're playing at home.
And right in the middle, is there a case to be made for playing more of Miles Brennan, maybe even getting him a start in these final 3 games?
No, that's not fair. That's not fair at all. We're going to play Danny, and but if Danny doesn't do the thing we want him to do, we'll play Miles just in the last game.
Could you elaborate on what's not fair about it?
Well, I mean, Danny's our starting quarterback, and Danny's done a good job for us. And we're going to finish the season. Danny's our quarterback. Miles would have to beat Danny out on a play-by-play basis in practice. He'd have to play better than he would in the game. He hasn't done that yet. I would not give Miles a starting quarterback job just to get ready for next year. We got a lot of things to play for. We're thinking of one game at a time, and we want to have a very good year. But right now, Danny's our quarterback.
Coach, after watching the film, their punter, Scott, seemed to have a great night. Were there plays for DJ to make on any of those punt returns?
Yeah, you know, here's a couple of things. You bring up some good points. First of all, it's the first time we've gone against a pro-style punter. And we felt that we had some opportunities to block the punt. And our execution wasn't exactly like we wanted. And that enabled them to get the punt off, obviously, without a lot of coverage. So we did that 2 or 3 times. I think one of the biggest plays in the game was the penalty. Obviously, we returned the ball, I guess, around the 50-yard line, and we had a foolish penalty. DJ could have caught a couple of balls. He should have done a better job. I think that we looked at it, and we had over 75 yards, hidden yards, lost in the punt return game. So obviously, we could have done a better job, but it wasn't all on DJ.
Coach, over here, you're right. After the game, you were pretty adamant about what direction the program was going in. I know you were speaking to several of your clientele there. Were recruits one of them?
No question. And we're a couple of players away. You got to give the credit to their quarterback. I mean, just think about the plays that Jalen Hurts has made against us the last 2 years. And look, man, we held to 3.2 yards per carry. We rushed the ball well. We had more yards than they did. We just didn't make the plays at opportune times. Their quarterback did, we didn't. So with another recruiting class, with some skilled guys that we need, we feel that we better compete with them and anybody else in the SEC on a toe-to-toe basis. It was obvious. I thought our defensive line played very well. I thought guys like Frank Heron played his best game. Ed Alexander, Rashard Lawrence, they came to play. That was the best running game I felt we had to defend in about 33 years of coaching, besides the year I had to play Oregon. And I thought our guys did a tremendous job of going toe-to-toe in the trenches.
So as a follow-up, you feel like you were one more recruiting class away at being at the level that it needs to win this league?
Let me say this to you. I think that if you look at this last game and you look at a couple of plays here and there that we make 2 of those long throws, the game is tied. And, I guess a lot of people can say that. I guess when we was at Miami, a lot of people almost beat us too, and I understand that. But I feel with another recruiting class that we're going to be very close to where we want to get. I think the year of 2019 is one of the best years in Louisiana. That's when we're going to have our best recruiting class. And we're building a championship program here, and I think everybody can see it.
Coach, this 11 a.m. start, do you think that's tougher on the players or the fans?
I think it's tough on the fans. I think that, everybody has their little routine. They like to go through it, and I understand that. The players will adapt. Last Citrus Bowl, we played Louisville. We played them at 11 o'clock, and we played one of the best bowl games that we played here in a while. I think it's a mindset. It's a mindset of the coaches. We can use it as an advantage. It's early for both teams. And we're going to be very well prepared to play early on Saturday morning. Obviously, it helps us with a sold-out crowd.
Ed, would you like to or consider getting Miles maybe a series or some snaps when the game is still in doubt, like in the first, second quarter or something?
That could happen. That could happen. He could play more, but he would play more because he is equal or better to Danny. That's the reason he played. If Danny's in there and he's hot and he's playing well, he's out for it. We're playing to win.
Coach, how much better do you feel about your offensive line? The young guys that have played, gotten the experience, and that moving into next year too, with a lot of those guys coming back.
I'm proud of them. You know, we faced a lot of growing pains at the beginning of the year. We faced a lot of growing pains in camp. We could not scrimmage like we wanted to. We weren't too deep in a lot of positions. Thank God we had a lot of guys that walked on this football team. We had them too deep. But those guys have gotten better. And, I'm proud of Sadiq. I'm proud of Ed Ingram. I'm proud of the older guys for teaching them the way. That puts less pressure on us of finding a junior college guy that has to start. Now, if we can get a junior college guy that's better than them, he can start. And we are looking for junior college linemen to help us. But at least we got 5 guys returning that have started football games.
Coach, right along those same lines, you talked a lot last week about in the trenches what you thought kind of the talent gap might be. How much did your perception of that change after Saturday night?
We went toe-to-toe. There's no question. I didn't see it yet, to be honest with you. I think in a lot of situations we won. I don't know if that was attitude, technique, a combination of everything. But I felt like we delivered some blows, especially on the defensive line. I thought we played well. I think we only gave up 2 sacks, and that was at the end. We ran the ball well. They were averaging 43 points a game. We held them to 24. We held them to 3.2 yards per carry, which is pretty good. We did not get pushed around. We did the pushing around in a lot of instances. So I think that we made some progress there in mindset, technique, and talent. Are we where we need to be? No. Are we getting there? Yes.
Coach, here in the back, that play call with Darryl and the Wildcats, that's something that's been in the playbook all year, kind of just hiding it in your back pocket for a game like this. Speak to his play, I guess, and then how important is it to have him also protect Danny? I saw 3 or 4 times he probably saved Danny from getting sacked.
He did a great job. Darryl is one of our most valuable players, and that is something that Matt came up with during open day. He is something that he felt that would be successful, and it was. And obviously Darryl is an all-around back, first, second, and third down back, and he's very good at protection. He's probably one of our better backs in pass protection.
Coach, Coastal Carolina was beating these guys pretty much the whole game until the end. It's the same league that has Troy. Is this evidence that the players those schools are getting are on the level of Power 5 conferences, or is it maybe evidence that maybe the Power 5 guys aren't as hungry when they play these games? And
yeah.
The guys at those schools have that hunger.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both. Obviously, I played at Northwestern State, so I played with some very good football players. I played in the NFL, so I always have respect for the lower tier schools. And I know the type of football is being played there. So, but you got to get your team up to play every week. And you cannot play to your opponent's level. And that's one thing I think that we learned this year, obviously after the Troy game, that we have to play LSU football. And I think for the most part, we've done that.
Coach, down here. Can you talk a little bit more about Darryl, who, I mean, he's a guy who came in with Leonard Fournette. He knows that Darius is coming the year after, but he kind of sticks with it, and now he's kind of proven the kind of back that he is.
Humble, mature, leadership, hard worker. You ask him to lose weight, he loses weight. He don't say a word. He's one of our best special teams players. He's there early to work, smiles every day. Hardly ever hurt. I've never heard him complain. He's the ultimate Tiger. He's a great young man.
Coach, just curious from last spring, Lowell Narcisse, how much better has he gotten, confident in his, recovering from those injuries? And how much better does he get running your scout squad, having to go up against your defense every day?
Yeah, he's done a good job, and he's gotten in shape. He's lost some weight. I think that for the first time in a couple of years, he's healthy. He's done a tremendous job of doing the things that we ask him to do. His time to compete is coming up. And after these 3 weeks, hopefully we have some more practice. and that he will have a tremendous opportunity to go in there and show us what he has and some action against the first team.
Going into that game, I was a little skeptical about Matt's shifts and motions and how they would stack up against a premier defense. Coming out of it, it looks like they did quite well. Does it help to add some belief to the team, the coaches, to everyone to kind of buy in, even let's go with this thing?
It gives confidence, obviously, and it did. And you know, he had more yards against them than they had against us, so that was evident. But his game plan, the shifts in motion were very hard. Although they stopped some plays, the things that they stopped, he was able to do something else. He had options. And again, I think that he had a great play call on first down, play action pass. That was our game plan, to go deep. We had a chance to make those plays. If we make those plays, it's a different ballgame.
Coach, one quick follow-up on Miles. Did you consider going to him earlier in the game at any point?
You know, here's the way we go into the game, Matt. Miles can go in anytime. But Danny would have to be not executing the game plan. Would have to go to maybe 2 series, not doing the things that Matt wants him to do. And then obviously at the end, we felt that we wanted Miles to get a shot, that Danny wasn't playing that well at the end and wanted to give Miles a shot. But it can happen. It can happen in the 2nd series or 3rd series, but Danny hasn't warranted that yet.
And then with Arkansas, I know Brandon Allen's been out, but it seems like he's getting healthier. Do you prepare for both guys this week?
No question. No question. We will make a cut-up of Brandon Allen. We'll make a cut-up of the quarterback they have now. There'll be a different computer report, a different game plan for each quarterback if it warrants.
What do you see in each one of those guys? They're a lot different, aren't they? The 2 quarterbacks.
Well, Brandon has a lot of experience, obviously. He's a winner. He has a lot of heritage there at Arkansas. I know his family. He's a great young man. He's won a lot of games. The other guy's a young guy. He's taller, maybe not as mobile as Brandon, but he's a different pocket passer. He's doing a good job.
Does it help at all that Matt has experience with Brett being 1 year up there? I mean, how does it help, you know?
Yeah, I think that's overrated a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because you get all the stuff in the film. You might get a little tip here and there, but no.
Coach, the 75-yard would have been a 75-yard touchdown, I think. The chart, the one down in front of your sideline early in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
Was that one of the big misses that you were referring to?
Yeah. You know, probably could have caught the ball if he slowed down a little bit. But it's hard to tell a receiver to slow down. And, this time it just went right. And it was a little both of the guys. You know, we could have gotten it.
There's so many of those deep balls that could have been completed, and it just game changing. I know you're tired of us asking about it, but do those things that keep a coach up at night? Do you have almost nightmares about these plays?
No regrets. No regrets. God, let me say this. I'm with those guys, man. They gave us every ounce of energy that they had, and that stuff's going to happen. It's football. You know, and I have no regrets. This football game, not one. And I was so proud of everything that they gave.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys, see y'all later.
Good job.